Hey everybody, Mike Filsich here, coming on to give you another update on what's going on with the market. I'm getting those questions all the time. What is going on? What do you think of the market? And basically what's happened is the media has done their wonderful job at creating panic. And while there are some changes in the market, there's no question about it, it's not time to panic. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about what is happening in the market. First of all, here's what's real. Is there a recession? Yeah, I think it's already started. Now, there's some who are trying to support, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, but they're trying to bolster up to make it not look so bad. But our leadership has made some bad choices by pumping so much money into the market. They caused an inflation. And now what's happening is the feds are pulling back. They're raising interest rates because they're trying to pull money back out of the market, so not allowing people to get as much money. So by raising interest rates, not as many people can qualify for the same house as they would, and so they don't have to put as much money in the market, and effectively they're drawing money back out of the market so they can balance their books. And that's exactly what's going on. So that's one of the indicators of a recession. When the feds start doing that kind of thing, it is always historically at the peak of an inflation, beginning of the recession, when they start pulling money out. So that's the reality. Now, here's the other reality though. Since the 1980s, we've had 6 recessions. And in all that time, only 2 of them did home prices go down. One of them in 1991, home prices went down a whopping 1.9%. Now, the one that everybody remembers, and this is why everyone freaks out so much, is the one that just happened in 2008, the Great Recession. And we did see home prices, national average was just under 20%. And so that was a big drop. But I want you to think about where we just came from, especially here in Utah. Okay, in Utah, last year, we increased 28%. And the year before that, we went up nearly another 20% then. So if you've been in your home for 2+ years, you've got a bunch of equity in your home. And so let's just say that the numbers do go down. Let's say that it goes down 10%. And I'll talk about that in a second. But let's say it goes down 10%. Well, unless you've messed with borrowing against your home to go buy a boat and something stupid like that, if you did something stupid, go watch my video called Don't Be Stupid. But if you didn't do anything in that, you've got tons of equity in your home. Okay, so you should be fine. You're not going to be upside down in your home. Now, one of the things that what we saw happening is in the heat of the market, and this all ended in April. Okay, so if you're thinking that you can throw your home on the market and everyone's going to rush and you're going to get multiple offers and it's going to sell for a bunch of money higher and people are going to be willing to come in with a bunch of cash above appraised value to make up the difference in what they're offering, that's over. That ended in April. Okay, so now we're actually getting back to a stable market. We're not seeing a buyer's market. We're seeing still a little bit on the seller's market side because there's still a shortage of inventory, which I'll get to in a second. But what we're not seeing is these artificially inflated prices. And so I was just talking to someone the other day and they said, yeah, this house around the corner, they had it on the market for $675 and they had to drop it to $600. And so I looked at the comps. Well, the reason they put it at $675 because there was one in the neighborhood that had been on the market for $600,000 and got bid up to $650,000, and now they thought they could get $675. So they had to come back to what the real value was of the property. So I want you to think about this when people are saying, oh, home prices are plummeting, home prices are dropping. No, home prices are staying right about where they have been based on appraised values, things like that. But what you're not seeing is you're not seeing those huge amounts added on top in cash by desperate buyers who can't find any place to buy. And so that's why we're starting to see a little bit in some home prices coming down, because you still have sellers who are in the denial phase. So if you're listening to this and you're a seller, get out of denial. You cannot put your home on and expect to sell it for the same price that the guy who had 15 offers. We're going to be realistic about what the real value is and has been on your home. Well, one of the big challenges that we have in our market, and why it's still leaning towards a seller's market, is we still have a shortage. Okay, so if I was to look anywhere at the first of the year, and I was doing this on a regular basis because people were always asking how many homes were on the market, I would look, for example, at single-family homes. Single-family homes in the Salt Lake County, so I'm going to be very specific about that, but Salt Lake County was down some days as low as 230 single-family homes available in the whole Salt Lake Valley. And there were 3,000 to 5,000 people buying. Okay, so we had such a shortage. That's why you saw, 10, 15, my record was I saw 96 offers on one house, not one that I was selling, but one I put an offer on, 96 offers. We're not in that anymore, but we still have a shortage, nor in a normal market. Okay, well, if we include condos, mobile homes, townhomes, all of that, then those numbers were sitting, at the first of the year around 500 homes. That was pretty normal for what we were seeing the first of the year. Today, I just looked this up. This is, what is it today? July 14th. And today, all homes in the Salt Lake Valley, 2,322. So we're up 400% of what we were at the beginning of the year. However, in a really good, strong, stable market, we typically have 3,000 to 4,000. So we're still a little short on homes. And there's still people out there buying. Now, what happened with the interest rates increasing? Okay, so it shifted what everyone could do. So the people at the very bottom were trying to buy their first home, and they could barely afford a home at 2.5% or 3% mortgage. I apologize, but you're out of the market right now. And so it's going to take you a little longer. You got to save up. You got to get a better job, whatever it is, to get the money so you can afford the home. And everybody else just kind of shifted. So we also see a decline in people buying the $1 million homes because you don't have as many people in that range either. But the lower end, anything from 350, which is hard to find anything in that price range, a little condo maybe, 350 up to about 650,000. Those are still selling really quite well, and we're still actually seeing some multiple offers on some of those, just because the inventory is still low. And if you've got a good home that's out there, then it's still going to sell. Now, interesting graph, and we're going to put this up here now. I want you to look at this. This is the number of homes by millions built per decade since 1930 in the United States. So this is not just in Utah, but this is nationwide. Now, I'm not going to go all the way back right now, but I want to look at the last 3 decades that are charted up there. Obviously, we're not finishing our decade, so we don't know where we are. 1990 to 1999, you see that there were 26.7 million homes built in the United States. 2000 to 2009, there were 27.1 million homes built in the United States. And that was when we hit the recession. Now, the recession hit, there was a big drop on home construction because there were actually a lot of builders that went out of business because they lost their shirts. They were building spec homes, people were buying it, all of a sudden it shut down and they couldn't sell them and they lost everything. And so now you had less builders out there, you have less homes being built. So you look at this last decade, 2010 to 2019, 5.8 million. And we're talking 1/5 of the homes almost of what was built in the previous 2 decades. We haven't seen this few homes being built in a decade since, look back, 1930. The 1930s was the last time we saw this few homes being built. So that's one of the reasons why we still have a shortage. This is one of the other reasons why this isn't going to be another 2008, because 2008 we had a ton of inventory. There was, that was the time when we had 27.1 million new homes being built, plus all the homes that everyone else was putting on the market. So there was tons of inventory that we don't have now. Now in Utah, the Home Builders Association, talking with them, they've said that if nobody moves into the state, nobody new moves into the state, and we just go based on the growth and the natural growth that could happen in the state with people getting older, people wanting to move, people wanting to buy a new home, it's going to take them 10 years to catch up with the new construction inventory that's needed in the state of Utah. And yeah, I know there's a couple projects that are going to be coming on. The new prison project's going to be coming on real soon, and that's going to be a big one that's going to add. But that's still going to take time to build that up, and that's not going to sell in a year. That's going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 years because it's such a big project to sell that out. So still an inventory shortage. So what am I saying with all this? Is a lot of information I've given you, and I hope it's been helpful. But the main thing is I don't want you to panic. Okay. What the recession is going to do, and some of you are going to get hurt by the recession, not necessarily the housing, but there are companies who are going to lay people off. And hopefully it's not you, but if it is, act sooner than later. I mean, if you can get another job quickly, that's awesome. But if it gets to the point where you're missing payments on the home, then take advantage of the equity that's in there and sell the home early while you've got some cash in there. And why you can save the credit still, instead of going into foreclosure. You've got plenty of equity, and you can live on that equity until you get another job. Once you get another job, then you start that home buying again when you have more options out there and things like that. So I'm sorry that there's going to be some of the reality. It is going to also increase the number of homes on the market when we start seeing more foreclosures, and we will see some more. Like, I don't anticipate seeing as many short sales, simply because the short sales, again, equity. A lot of people have, a latest report I just read that said that the average homeowner has over $150,000 worth of equity in their home. Big chunk of money. So don't waste that. Don't be stupid. Go back and watch that video. And don't mess with that equity right now. I know the ads are coming out now saying, oh, do this, buy down your credit card. Now just pay off your credit card. Get rid of that thing. Pay that off. And don't go buy a boat right now. Not the time to do that. Time to buckle up a little bit, kind of cinch things up. But don't panic. You're going to be okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You've got our number here, and you can go to our website. And we're happy to help out, answer any questions you have. And we'll be back probably in about another week with another update on what's going on in the market. If you found this video helpful, consider going to our YouTube page and liking and subscribing to our YouTube page and watching the other videos that we've got on there. We're posting things all the time on there to help homeowners and just to help with general information about a successful life.